Hey, what's happening, everyone? So, the topic of this video is, what are some bad or mediocre games that you have enjoyed playing? Now, these could be games that you actually think are good games, but that others might call bad or mediocre, others being game reviewers, game critics, gamers on forums, your friends, etc. Or this could be a game that you're playing and you know it's a bad or mediocre game, but for some reason you enjoy playing the game, you can't put the game down. Now, I do have a couple examples of bad or mediocre games that I have enjoyed playing, and these aren't the only games, but these are just a couple examples. First game is True Crime New York City. Now, I did play the original True Crime Streets of LA, and I really enjoyed playing that game. However, that game, I believe, got mostly, for the most part, it got mostly positive reviews across the board. However, when True Crime New York City was released, this game got basically bad review upon bad review, and so I believe it was a year after the game was released. I walked into a store and I saw True Crime New York City. I saw a brand new copy for $7, and so since True Crime New York City was developed by the same developer that made True Crime Streets of LA, I figured for $7 I'll give True Crime New York City a shot. And so I bought the game, I played the game, and I did beat the game, and I did have an enjoyable time playing the game. Now, True Crime New York City is a bad game, and despite the fact that I enjoy playing this game, I cannot call this game a good game. And the main reason why I cannot call this a good game is because it's extremely buggy, and it's basically an unfinished game that was rushed for release. And I don't think I can ever call an extremely buggy, unfinished game a good game. Now, the biggest bug in this game is, in the game you can enter and leave buildings. However, when you're entering or leaving a building, the game might glitch up and you might be stuck in the doorway and you can't move, you can't enter or leave that building, you're just stuck in the doorway. And so the only option you have is to restart your PS2 and reload your last save. And this must have happened to me at least 30 times throughout the course of the game. And for some of you, you might find this to be annoying or frustrating, but to be totally honest, I didn't really mind this at all. I did know that the game was extremely buggy prior to playing the game, so what made this very tolerable is the fact that the game does have autosaves and manual saves. Upon successfully completing every mission, the game will autosave, and basically you can manually save at any point you want. So I manually saved every 5 or 10 minutes, and so whenever the game glitched on me and I was stuck in the doorway and I had to restart my PS2 and reload my last save, I didn't really lose that much progress. Now, these next two games are examples of games that I actually think are good games, but they have gotten some mediocre reviews. First is Aliens vs. Predator. Now, I did do a video about this game, and I believe this game, like I said in the video, I believe this game got mediocre reviews, but I actually think this is a pretty good game. The final game that I'll talk about in this video is Alone in the Dark Inferno. Now, this game is available on the Xbox 360, but it's only called Alone in the Dark. I believe the reason why this game was renamed Alone in the Dark Inferno when it was released for the PS3 is that this game does have 2 extra levels, I think. Now, this game did get a couple of good reviews, but for the most part, most game reviewers thought that this was a mediocre game. The game does have bad controls, and I suppose how much you enjoy playing this game depends on how much you enjoy the story. I myself found the story to be very entertaining, and I thought the game had great atmosphere. The game does two unique things that I think it does very well. The game does have kind of like a DVD-like presentation, in which anyone who's ever watched a DVD knows that on a DVD you can, there's scene selection, so you can skip to your favorite scenes, and just like that, you can do that in this game. You can skip to certain areas. And it's more than a level select. You can actually skip to certain areas in a level. But the game does give you incentive for not skipping around, because if you beat levels without skipping around, then you do get trophies for doing that. The other thing this game does very well is that when you are continuing to play this game, when you sit down to continue to play this game and you load up your last save, before playing the game will give you this kind of previously on Alone in the Dark segment, in which It kind of gives you like a summary of what happened the last time you played, and I thought that was very helpful, especially if you haven't played the game for a couple of days. And I think more games should have something similar to that. So yeah. So these are some examples of some bad or mediocre games that I have enjoyed playing. And like I said, these aren't the only ones, but they're just some examples. So now I'm going to ask you guys, what are some bad or mediocre games that you have enjoyed playing? Alright, thanks for watching this video, everyone.